Hey YouTube, welcome to this video. I have a 1994 Mustang GT. I've been having issues with it overheating, and I've been doing some research. I've already gone ahead and swapped out the thermostat, and it made zero difference, which is to say it does exactly the same thing as if I haven't changed anything. And as a matter of fact, the one that was in there, which was the original, and now keep in mind this is a 1994 Mustang GT, it's 31 years old. It was stored for, I would think, actually most of its life. I'm the second owner of it. Long story short, it seems like I didn't want to go down too many different paths in terms of diagnosing what the problem could be or pinpointing where the problem can be. It seemed like maybe it might be the CCRM, but I've seen many videos where they've swapped this out and it's a very expensive piece, and it made no difference. And I saw another video where basically somebody did what I did. This is how I was able to do it, because I saw somebody else do it. And what they did is they replaced this relay. And but what I noticed when he had this open is that relay, as a matter of fact, that he changed, you can clearly see. And I'll see if I can find the video and leave a link to it so you can see for yourself. But this relay here, I noticed that when he zoomed in, there were cold solders, which is more of an electronics term than a mechanical or mechanics. And I mean mechanics for car, obviously. I noticed that there were cold solders, and I know a little bit about cold solders and a little bit about electronics, enough to know that that can cause all sorts of intermittent weird issues. So I went ahead and removed it from my car. As you can see, I have it here on my bench. I redid all the solder joints because a lot of them looked iffy, a lot. I mean, you don't even need a magnifying glass to see them. So I reworked all the solder joints, and then I also noticed, again in that particular video, these two capacitors, which, you know, I think everybody is well aware of their bad name. They can dry out over time. And again, this is a 30-plus-year-old piece of equipment, the car as well as the board, obviously. So I actually found one seems to be shorted, which was this guy. Okay, and that guy is, if I have this correct, sorry, this guy was shorted. Either way, you should test both, and while you have this open, you might as well swap them out. This is the one that I took out. I'll see if you can kind of see that little bit of corrosion there. That to me seems suspect, so I went ahead and swapped it out. The other one that I swapped out is this guy. Okay, and you can clearly see this one's overheated. Now, interestingly enough, the value on this capacitor seems to be okay. But again, that's a sign of overheating. Again, I might as well just swap it out. So I'm basically done reworking this circuit board, which again is the CCRM for a 1994 Ford Mustang GT. Here is the part number if you want to look it up. I did have to drill out a couple of rivets. It's kind of a pain to get to because of these tiny little screws that two of them hold this board together, and it's just in front of the radiator, I believe. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this back in the car, and I'll make up a follow-up video to let you know if this fix changed anything in my 1994 Ford Mustang GT that has an overheating issue. I'll elaborate a little bit on the overheating It doesn't overheat when I'm, you know, when it's colder outside, and I'm moving. As soon as I come to a stop, the temperature gauge rises, obviously, to past the point of normal. So I'm figuring something is wrong, and it's been doing that for a little while since I put it back in transit. It had been parked for about 7 or 8 years, maybe 10 actually, now that I think about it. Possibly longer than that. It was parked, it wasn't used, it wasn't even turned on. I unplugged the battery and everything. But anyway, I'll do a follow-up video and let you guys know if this actually worked. So again, this is a 1994 Mustang GT. It's the CCRM board, and because of an overheating issue that I've been having, and after watching a few videos, I figured I'd take this thing apart, and sure enough, I found a bunch of cold solders, which I'm hoping might resolve the issue. There is some plastic stuff on here that you'll have to remove carefully, because obviously it's actually heat resistant. You can put your solder on it and it won't melt. It's not glue, it's some sort of, I don't know, I'm not sure actually. Maybe the electronics guys will know what that is. As a matter of fact, you can see it here. See that little plastic? That's like a rubber piece. You saw a piece just flick off there. And it has it on both sides. I would imagine it's for heat resistance, given that this thing gets really toasty. You can see some of the heat indication right there in that middle portion, which is where that relay is that I saw had the issue. This is the... Sorry for my camera work here. That's the relay that I saw swapped out in that video. I honestly don't remember if it made a difference or not, or if it actually worked, but like I said, I'm taking a different approach. All right, thanks for watching, guys. I'll let you know with a follow-up video if this fix actually took care of the overheating problem. Thanks. Hey YouTube. Welcome to this video. This is part 2. I've been working on solving this issue with my 1994 Mustang GT. The problem is it overheats. I went ahead and watched a bunch of videos on YouTube, and I'd like to thank the YouTube community for helping out. I think it's fantastic that everybody shares information like this, and because of that, I wanted to share my experience with my vehicle. So I had been experiencing overheating issues for a while, not severe ones, which is to say, you know, if it was winter time, I probably wouldn't even know that there's an issue. But given that it's July, summer, and anyway, it's overheating, I went ahead and changed out the thermostat, and it made no difference whatsoever. So before I went ahead and started swapping out everything else randomly just to see if it made a difference, I saw one of the videos where they worked on the control module, an electronic piece that controls the fan, and from what I understand, it controls the fan, 2 relays, one for high speed, one for low speed, I believe, and then there's a fuel pump relay and some other main relay. I made a different video about it once I took it out of the car. Like I said, in that video, I resoldered a bunch of stuff that I thought looked like cold solders. I replaced 2 capacitors, 2 small capacitors. I think one was a 1 microfarad, 63 volt, I believe. And don't quote me on that. I'll make a follow-up video on the 2 that I removed so you can see it. And I also removed another one, which I think was 47 microfarads at, I think 50 volt. Again, don't quote me on that. I'll make a separate video. To be perfectly honest, I did this earlier in the morning because obviously I don't want to be out here working on the car when it's so hot. And I took it out for a spin in my subdivision, and I saw an improvement immediately. The fan was always turning on, which is why it was so confusing to me, but it didn't seem like the fan was turning on for enough time, or maybe it was intermittent. That I didn't really look into it deeper, but because it was working, I figured, okay, well, the fan is working because it does turn on, but for some reason it's not cooling it enough, and the temperature rises too much and therefore it overheats. So I figured, okay, the fan is good unless it's intermittent. And like I said, I found another video where I did this. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a test drive. The car is pretty warm. It's about an hour, about an hour and a half since I swapped out the module and put it back. It's kind of a pain to get to it on the 1994. It's in the in front of the radiator where the overflow, the radiator overflow container is. It's kind of a pain. The tiniest little screws, be careful not to lose them, but once you get everything out, you will have to drill out the rivets because there's just no other way to do it. But once you get to the circuit board, what you want to look for is basically cold solders. If there are capacitors, you know, I would say replace them. My car is, again, a 1994, and I know I've replaced nothing on it. I'm the second owner. The first owner, you know, the car was basically new, so I know he didn't do much to it. And unfortunately, my car has been parked for over 10 years, stored in my garage, and I'm now just bringing it back to life. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a ride. I'm gonna see how I can place this. I may have to just place it somewhere and kind of let you guys see afterwards what happens. So, okay, so I'm gonna stop the video here. Hey YouTube. So I just took about a 10-15 minute ride on the highway, just to test. As you can see, the gauge is normal. I think that fixed it. Swapping out the two capacitors, one of which was open, and the other one was just old, and resoldering all the relays, I think, did it. Let me stop. Hey YouTube, here we go. So it looks like that fix took. Just went on the highway, took her up to about 70 miles an hour, then took the local roads, and now I'm parked. And as you can see, there we go, it's going back to normal. I hear the fan turning on, so I think that did it. I'll pop the hood and make sure, but that is a lot better than before. Before it would just dance up and down basically. All right guys, thanks for watching. Hey YouTube. So these are the two capacitors that I swapped out of that module. One is a 47 microfarad 10 volt. This is the one that actually seems to be faulty. Like I said, it's a 47 microfarad at 10 volts, and if we take a measurement on your meter under diode, or excuse me, under capacitor, you'll see that, oops, it's kind of tricky to do here on camera as well. You'll see that it's open, not short, but open. Yeah, right there I'm getting open. This one I swapped out as well. So this one's clearly bad, it's open. And you can kind of tell there's a little bit of gunk at the bottom. It may have leaked out. It's difficult to tell, but it's definitely open. This one's a bit different in that it doesn't seem like there's anything wrong other than this heat stress over here, which is the reason why I swapped it out. It seems to be measuring somewhat within range. But I figured, you know what, it's 30 years old, I might as well swap it. So this is the other one. Like I said, it's a 1 microfarad, 63 volts, I think. So those are the two that I swapped out. And then the only other thing that I did on that board is I soldered basically all the points that looked questionable, like it was a cold solder. I did that, and now the car is running great. I ran it just now. It's about 90 degrees outside, so it did not overheat, and it's running great. All right, I hope you guys find this useful. Thank you.